Hi guys, welcome to Palace to the Core. My name is Stephen Dawes. Thank you for joining me. Right, I'm sorry I didn't do a post Aston Villa video before now. I've had a bit of a virus, so I've been sidelined, should we say, for a couple of days. But so what I'm going to be doing is making this kind of a part review of the Aston Villa game, part preview of the Millwall game. So I'm going to talk about the Aston Villa game first, and what a shock it was for me. I didn't. It wasn't a shock that we won because I thought that we could possibly win, but it was a shock the way that we won and the number of goals that we scored. I think was a bit of a shock for me. Wasn't necessarily all our own way, especially in the first part of the game. I felt that Aston Villa were trying to unlock our defence and things like that, but I felt that Adam Wharton and Will Hughes in the middle did fantastically well trying to break up the midfield, and Will Hughes got a yellow card and stuff like that, but I think that his contribution in the middle there is completely completely justified in terms of he gets a yellow card, but the work that he puts in for it is absolutely phenomenal, and I felt that was all the way through. I felt Eze had a really good game, JP had a really good game as well. I felt that everyone really kind of played well together, and I thought that in terms of the whole game, yeah, we didn't have it all our own way. There were perhaps little bits of luck here and there as well, but I felt in general, I thought it was really quite a complete game for us. We got the win, we were very resolute. They scored a goal, but I felt that we were very tight at the back. I thought we worked really hard together as a team, and I think it's getting to be a culmination of all the hard work that Oliver Glasner has put in, and shows, as I've always believed, that this is a team that can beat anyone if they're on their game. So I think it was a fantastic result. I felt that it's great to see Eddie Nketiah get his first Premier League goal. Great to see that happen. A little bit of a shame that he doesn't get more minutes, but it's one of those things when you're pitted against Jean-Philippe Mateta, who's really having a purple patch at the moment. It's difficult, isn't it, to justify putting Eddie Nketiah in when that's the situation, and of course just jostling around the other players as well. He's got a bit of embarrassment of riches at the moment. He's got players that he can call into almost any position, I think, at the moment. So he's got a very good position in terms of trying to get people minutes. But yeah, I was really pleased with the game. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, and the goals were very good as well. I felt that everyone played their part, and it was one of those games where, it's one of those purple patches. When you think this is probably one of the most, maybe not necessarily the most entertaining in terms of, we've had games where we've totally dominated games and scored goals and been absolutely playing teams off the park. It wasn't necessarily one of those things, but I felt it was a really complete game, that we did a lot of good stuff on that pitch, and we held a very good Aston Villa team at bay. So, considering the results they've had this season, I thought that was a huge result for us. So, yeah, fantastic result for that. Let me know down in the comment section what you thought of the game, of course. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Before I talk about Millwall, quick note about Royal Kaminsky, who's unfortunately left the Crystal Palace women's team. I did put a community tab comment on there a little while ago, Steve Harris saying that it was a very difficult decision for the club to make. I can understand why they've done it. Obviously, we won promotion to the WSL. We have struggled this season. There's no doubting about it. Whether that's all down to Laura Kosminski or not, I don't know. But I think that obviously he has to do something to try and stop the situation as it is at the moment. Hopefully they can bring someone in who can turn it around. But it's a shame. And obviously, whoever comes in, hopefully they will be able to get things moving in the right direction. Right, so in terms of the Millwall game, Oliver Glasner said that everyone came through the game against Aston Villa. Everyone was okay. Mark Gahey apparently had a slight issue with his knee in the Aston Villa game, but he's okay. He's okay to play now against Millwall. Nobody else was injured, which is great. Oliver Glasner did say that Matthias Franke will be in the squad for Millwall, which he wasn't before, so that's potentially good news as well. He was asked about Adam Wharton. Obviously, he had a fantastic game against Aston Villa, and he was asked whether he would play against Millwall. And Oliver Glasner's been very cagey, understandably so, I think, about the situation. He said, he hasn't played for 4 months or so. He had, a few minutes here and there. He had 80 minutes against Aston Villa, and he doesn't want him to get injured again. So, there's a possibility that he may be rested, which I think is sensible, because, it was an injury that he had for a while. They tried to manage it. Eventually had to do an operation, and that ended up with perhaps a longer layoff than they would have hoped for. So, yeah, getting him back to fitness, getting him back into full swing was going to be very important. So, there's a possibility he won't play a part in the game, which is understandable. Everyone else is fine, which is great to see. And he's been told, obviously the rivalry between us and Millwall and things like that, and he understands that, of course. And people were asking him. A lot of the journalists were saying to him, "Oh, is he going to get a few minutes?" A lot of people were saying about Esse, if he's going to get a few minutes, because obviously it's his former club. And Glasner was saying that he feels that he will get a few minutes, but obviously he doesn't guarantee that to any player. Then he was asked about whether Ben Chilwell will get minutes and so on and so forth, and he said that he doesn't guarantee minutes to any player. He says it depends on what's happening in the game. Depends how they've trained during the week and things like that, as he always has done. But he said that it's good for Millwall that Crystal Palace put out their best side, because it's a show of respect. He said it's bad. It's not good respect to the club if you put out a weakened side. So he's going we're going to put out our strongest side, and he said we can beat anyone on our day, which is absolutely true. So I think we're going to put out a strong side, and I think that we're going to play hopefully as well as we have done before. In terms of a result, I think it's going to be a tough game, because Millwall took it to Leeds a little while ago, and Leeds have been doing incredibly well. So I think Millwall are going to be a tough team. I think it's going to be probably quite a fierce game. I think it's probably going to be quite a physical game. I think it's going to end up quite a physical game, but I do see us getting through. I think that we, if we're putting out our strongest team, and I think that the players want to win the FA Cup. Adam Wharton believes that we can win the FA Cup. I don't see why we can't. So yeah, I think we can get a result here at Millwall. So we'll have to wait and see what happens anyway. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about the result. I think we're going to win. I'm not going to give a prediction as to a score line, but I'm happy for you guys to do so in the comment section if you want to. Let me know what you think, as always. Subscribe if you've got this far for all the latest Crystal Palace news, views and reviews, and I will see you next time.